Chairleader. And Chairleader is a motivational story about another Jersey guy, Frank Knievy. And I wanted him to tell you the story because this is about Chris hiring this young man with nonverbal cerebral palsy, Frank Knievy, and he hired him as a football coach. And then he wrote a book about it called Chairleader. Chris joins me now. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, Bill. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. What an inspirational story. So start first with how did you and Frankie connect, and what inspired him as a coach? Because that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it truly is. It's an extraordinary, true story. Well, I have to give a lot of credit to Frankie, who's out there listening right now. He had emailed, he had found the passion to want to coach high school football, and he had emailed every coach within a 50-mile radius of Seagirt, New Jersey. And I was fortunate to be the only one who got back to him at the time.
Wow.
And, yeah, it was incredible. We had a job opening for a coaching position, and he had emailed me requesting, saying, hey, I'm really interested in applying for the job. And at the time, I didn't know, Bill, that he had cerebral palsy. So he applies for this job. He comes in for the interview, and there I am, standing there looking at, Frankie with cerebral palsy.
Wow.
And it was an incredible moment. We shared this in the book. And then what came from that, the courage that he had to email me, what came from that was 4 years of friendship, of leadership, of grit, of toughness, of compassion. It's an incredible true story.
So tell me, when he came in, and of course you're corresponding on email, I imagine, right? So you have no idea because this is a guy that's got a sharp mind. He's focused. What was your first reaction in your head? Like, what am I dealing with? Were you thrown at all? What was your immediate emotional reaction?
Yeah, I was incredibly thrown, Bill. Here I was thinking I was going to interview an able-bodied football coach, and a young man with cerebral palsy comes in who's nonverbal. And so it caught me off guard, and I've been fortunate to have, volunteered my time at the Special Olympics and done some things with the reaction was, how is this going to work? How is a young man nonverbal in a wheelchair going to coach high school football? And I will admit, like those were my blind spots, right? Like I didn't see the vision, the commitment, the courage that Frankie had. But I saw it over time. I learned it over time.
So why did you hire him? Was it I'm in a bad spot now, I got to hire him because he came in for the interview? Or did you see something right away that you thought, okay, there's a building block here?
Yeah, great question. So, that interview process, we were interviewing a variety of candidates. I had 3 slots available on my coaching staff. Yeah. And I'd already made a decision on who the 3 gentlemen that I were going to hire were. And Frankie just so happened to be my last interview of the day. And after he had interviewed, I was overwhelmed with a variety of emotions, but I just knew in my heart that he was the right person for the job. And so I went back, I emailed the athletic director, and I said, hey, look, this is the guy. We've got to make it work. And that athletic director, Jason Baisden, was incredible in his support. And we just started looking at the world a little bit differently, Bill, right? And that's so much of what life is about, right? I was looking at the world as, this guy can't do this, he can't do this, he can't do this, he can't do this. And then I shifted my focus, I shifted my mindset, and I said, let's think about the things he can do. And the second we started doing that collectively, it changed our approach to how we coach football, it changed our approach to leadership, it changed our approach to our friendship, it changed everything.
How does he communicate with the players? I mean, how do is it, and how is that adjustment with the players? You got a bunch of young high school guys. They're there on the field to tough it out on the gridiron. What was that? How did you make that connection?
Yeah. So, we had, so this is an important aspect of the story. We took over this high school football program, the Petty School, New Jersey, that was forfeiting games. And then we took them from 0 almost in a way to number 1 in the country. We finished number 1 nationally our last year. We sent 48 kids to play Division I football. 4 kids are now in the NFL.
That's unbelievable.
So
I love it.
It is. So I tell you that because that speaks, I think, to the type of quality athlete and mindset that we had at the same time within our team. Well, those young men, what I saw from those young men was just a sense of compassion that they maybe didn't walk through the door with. And so the way Frankie communicated logistically was he has an affixed plastic board on his wheelchair in which he has letters, phrases, and pretty much like a numerical layout. And so he will point individually to the letters or the phrases that he wants to say to you. And so it's a fairly laborious process if you're not used to it. Now, fortunately, he's listening. He's probably laughing right now because if he were to type 1 or 2 words, I know exactly what he's going to say because of my friendship with him. But, our players learned over time to develop that patience, that trust with him and to listen. He did a great job of taking advantage of technology, of emailing me updates and what he saw after practice, scouting reports. I mean, this guy, it was so committed to the role that he was serving for not only just the coaching staff in the school, but these young men, that it was incredible to watch. He would go to any means to be able to contribute to what we were doing.
Wow. Chris, I am really fascinated by this. I'm inspired by this. I want to thank our good friend John Eckert for introducing you and I. He's one of the good guys for sure. And Frankie, proud of you, man. Proud of you, Frankie. This is incredible. Chris, how do people buy the book? Is there going to be a book launch, a book opening? You want people just to go to Amazon? Tell them what to do.
Yeah, please. So they can buy the book right now to support us. It just released yesterday, so it's called The Chairleader. They spelled like the chair you sit in, The Chairleader. It's on Amazon right now. It's live. They can type in my last name so Chris Malleo, Malleo, with The Chairleader. We're also going to be hosting a book launch on November 19th at the Spring Lake Theater. And so we would love to have people come down and attend that. You'll get a Q&A with Frankie and I. We've got an MC. Everyone will get a book. They'll be able to pre-order tickets here coming soon.
So, Chris, I'd love to have you on ahead of that 19th to remind folks to get out there. I want to promote that. Let's pack the house. This is a story that thank God you told it, and people